Hey there folks, Uniform Guy again, here with another review, and in this video I'm going to be showing you my 95 patt PLCE webbing. PLCE standing for Personal Load Carrying Equipment. So as you can see, I have the webbing lying on the floor with the pouches facing towards the camera. So if this was on a person, you'd be essentially standing behind them. The idea of that is to show you where all the pouches are and give you an idea of what I would have in them. As in most of my videos, I'll be working from the top to the bottom, so I'll be starting at the yoke, then working my way down to what all the pouches held. So starting off with that, I have the yoke here. The yoke is a 6-point yoke, so it's got 6-point referring to all the straps that hold it on. It has 2 straps which would be almost near your front, 2 extra straps which would be at your 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock respectively, and then 2 straps, you may not be able to see them, but 2 straps at the back. There is another yoke called a 4-point yoke which deletes the 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock straps. Usually that would go with the Bergen side pouches that would attach to it, usually referred to as a rocket pack. I prefer the 6-point yoke as opposed to the 4-point yoke because it helps prevent the belt from twisting and moving, and it feels to me that it supports the weight a lot better. One thing to mention, I have modified this yoke to have bungee cords. The bungee cords start at the bottom, loop round up to the shoulders. The idea of this is it can be used to stick foliage in for camouflaging, but also usually this large part would be to stick in a poncho or rain cover if I was operating without a Bergen. Then, working down a bit more, we have a bayonet frog and scabbard for the SA80 bayonet, which I've done a previous video for. Now some people would obviously think that's a bit odd having it on the small of a back as opposed to on your side where it's easier to grab. The way I look at it is I'd bring my arm round slightly uncomfortably to grab it, but then I'd pull it and I'd have it either blade down or blade up as ready to use as a knife as opposed to a bayonet. Although, to be perfectly honest, the SA80 bayonet is not really useful as a knife, unlike other bayonets. But attached to the front of the bayonet frog, I have 2 shell dressings held on with sniper's tape. Usually you'll find that shell dressings will be attached anywhere where you've got space to keep them, because you'll never know how many shell dressings you need, and it's easy to have bandages and not need them, that need them and not have them. Now, next we have the belt with all the pouches on. First thing to point out is another bungee running through the pouches loops. The idea of that bungee is to allow you to tuck in foliage for camouflage, but it also helps cinch in the belt around your body in sort of like a C-clamp style shape. So now we're at the belt. The way we're going to work round is from the left of the screen to the right of the screen. So first pouch, you'll notice there's a little bit of sniper's tape on here. These clasps on here I believe are called Italian buckles, and there's 2 ways of doing them up. The first way you'll notice on this one is you've got this part goes over the loop, then just one part of the buckle sits in and it's a quick release, and that one's permanently held in quick release fashion with some sniper's tape. The other one is this more secure lock, so it takes a little bit more effort to undo. And to show you how to do that, put the buckle over the loop, one tab goes through the loop, Then you line the other tab up and pull the first one down, and it's quite a secure lock. This is a SA80 double ammo pouch. The first one that's quick release has your 3 SA80 mags in. These are the old pressed steel ones as opposed to the new polymer ones. Simple, nice, quick, easy construction mags. Usually you'd have 3 in there, 3 in there, 30 rounds in each mag. That's pretty much all you need. Put this back on. Then next to the first pouch is a speed loader for the SA80 mags. And then in the second pouch, which isn't quick released, would usually be more mags, but this one is empty. Next to that I've got a water bottle pouch. Again, quick release closure, because that's where I have my main water bottle. It is quite a deep pouch. Usually in that I would carry a 58 patt water bottle without a cup. Next pouch is a utility pouch. Again, done up quite tight. In that one, normally what I would have, so most of these are empty now unfortunately, but in that one normally what I would have had would have been half a mess tin set, the zippy bag with the main meals, and maybe the breakfasts of a ration pack, maybe a plastic spork or something like that. Next utility pouch, right next to it, you'd have your hexi burner, your hexi blocks, small metal cup and a brew-up set. You may also have the brew-up set in the other utility pouch, in the other water bottle pouch here, but usually this water bottle pouch for me would serve 2 purposes. One would either be a spare water bottle, or 9 times out of 10 it was a boo-boo kit, or first aid kit. But it would have only been for minor stuff like bandages, plasters, stuff like that. It wouldn't be any of the new sort of tourniquets or anything like that, because those weren't frequently carried when I was using this. And now, on the right side, as opposed to another utility pouch, I've got another double ammo pouch. These are both cinched down securely, because there wouldn't usually be ammo in this. In this one here is usually where I would keep my blank fire attachment for the SA80, as you can see here. The blank fire attachment would live in that pouch. And then in this one here would live a cleaning kit, or sometimes I put the cleaning kit in with the blank fire attachment, obviously wrapping up a rag or something between to stop them jangling together, and have a thermos. But 9 times out of 10 it was a cleaning kit in quite a large plastic screw tub, as opposed to the wrap up ones that they do nowadays. But flip this all over because there's a little bit more to show. And as you can see on this one, I've got a little bit of what they call Gucci gear, although it wasn't really exactly Gucci. It's the hip pad. You'll see more often than not than what guys used to do is cut a long section out of roll mats, cable tie them on. I actually managed to get one of these instead. They do have loops that go through on the belt, but I have also cable tied them on. There's one of the loops that goes through the belt, so it's looped on, sniper taped up. And also underneath I have a utility strap that goes all the way through and is pulled tight. The idea from that is, because it normally, although I think it's quite loose on this one, it would normally hold a C shape like that. sit slightly more comfortable to your body. There is another thing that I would also have. Didn't always carry on this web set because I didn't always need it, but I would carry it sometimes. I'll lay this back out. Is the pistol holster. The idea of this one is you're supposed to attach it again to the belt. However, I would do what I did with my bayonet, and I'd usually have it sitting up here. So you just loop it over this part here. That obviously explains why I've got the sniper's tape there holding this quite tight, because then you just loop this around the connector points at the back, connect it up, and then the pistol would sit there. Obviously the handle, well, the grip of the pistol would be facing down, the back would be facing that way to allow it to be quick drawn by the right hand. So hopefully that's giving you a little view as to how I set up my webbing, or how I used to set up my webbing. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.